Greetings, YouTube. So recently it occurred to me that I didn't own any magazines from the month I was born. Now, how I had such an oversight in my collection, I have no idea. So I thought, if I was going to have a magazine from the month I was born, which one should it be? And I pondered it, Time is a good idea, maybe Life magazine, but for me, the quintessential American magazine is Playboy. There you go, there's the cover. The little blurb on the front is Pious Pornographers Revisited, Nudist Peter Sellers and Elkie Summer, Playboy in Jamaica. They actually had a Playboy resort in Jamaica at one time. I'd be interested in knowing in what year that closed. Annual pigskin skin preview, and this is college football. This is back before there was a Super Bowl. Henry Miller, Ben Heck, and J.P. Don Levy. Now, most people aren't going to believe this, but I purchased this specifically for the ads. Because let's be serious, folks. If you want to look at nude humans, it will take you less time than it took me to say the sentence, if you want to look at nude humans. That's how much time it would take. 3 seconds flat, and you'll be looking at nude humans. In fact, if you do a search for recipe books, I'm sure you will stumble upon nude humans. Okay? So, it's not hard to find them. And this is as close to puritanical as you can get and even be considered to fall into the category of nude humans. So, the humor in this is the same humor you will find in Playboy today. The humor has not changed at all in 47 years. The art style is the same. Some of the artists, I think, are exactly the same. It's quite astounding that the art and the style of humor is so incredibly consistent. Alright, there's no change. That was kind of entertaining. The layout's a little bit different, not much. The layout's very similar to current issues. It's not as glossy. It's not perfect bound. This is the older style magazine. What I find interesting about the ads is if you look at the topics you usually find in men's magazines. For example, alcohol. There's one beer ad in this magazine. All the other alcohol ads, and there are alcohol ads. I mean, there's one right there in the back. Are Scotch, brandy, or whiskey, the hard stuff. Okay, and in fact, they even speak about Johnny Walker as being upscale. Well, if you say so. The tobacco ads are here. Well, it's back in '64. But what was interesting is that it's about an even split between cigarettes, cigars, and pipe smoking. You're not going to find pipe smoking in a current issue of Playboy. You might find cigars. The others would be related to cigarettes. But what got me are the clothes. And I'm going to give you an example. Here we go. What sort of man reads Playboy? And this is an ad about Playboy itself, but look at those clothes. And then look at this. That's a clothing ad. There are ads in here for neckties, for dress shirts that are tapered so that you don't have to worry about bunching in the back when you sit down and get up. How many American males need tapered shirts nowadays? There are lots of ads for slacks. There are some stretch Levi's, and Oshkosh apparently made trousers. I didn't know that. There are dress shoes, ones that are claiming to be, look new all the time. I guess they designed so they wouldn't have a major crease when you walk. I don't know how they pulled that one off. There are ads in here for belts, cufflinks, things like that, things you don't see in current issues of Playboy. But what got me are the sweaters. There are lots of sweater ads in here. Apparently in September '64, sweaters were a major fashion statement. It was astounding to me. I'm flipping through this going like, holy crap, look at all these sweaters. Now there are a few things that I would actually wear today in here. There was one coat, wool coat, heavy duty winter coat that had external buttons, like the pegs, the little loops and stuff. I would wear that today. Let's see if I can find that picture, because it was quite entertaining, and my wife thought it was a little dated, but she's like that. She thinks fun things sometimes aren't as much fun as I do. No, I'm not finding it. Sorry. But the ads were entertaining. They made me smile, and it made well worth the $10 I paid for this magazine. Now there are topless women in this, and that's essentially what you find in this, topless. There are a couple of three-quarter shots where you can like see someone's butt cheek, but the things that are in this you can see on regular magazine covers today. You can see them in Maxim, on the cover of Newsweek, so there's nothing here that's titillating in the least. The one thing I will say, and I apologize if this is juvenile or puerile, is that I greatly appreciate looking at unaugmented, natural human bodies. No surgery, no silicone, nothing. Just people. Silicone, I should say, sorry. Silicone is completely different. It was very pleasant to see that human beings looked like human beings. The natural fall of human skin. People that aren't anorexically thin was also pleasant. They could have curves. When they bent at the waist, it wasn't a smooth surface. It had a fold. Why? Because humans have folds. So I found that refreshing. So I recommend anyone out there who has access to it, find a Playboy from the month that you were born. Go look at it and then compare it to modern ads. There are no erectile dysfunction ads in here. No links to pornography. No links to, to ways of making yourself more virile. None of that crap. It's a men's magazine, and it's aimed at well-dressed people who worked in, or at least reportedly worked, in an office environment. It very much was upscale in every way possible. And it made me smile, and I'm glad I have it in my collection.